Today we are going to be looking at a little bit of Zeus gameplay that I had. I managed to mute it again because, genius at work here. But I'm going to start Gilded Arrow being something that's very helpful for mage ADCs right now. I believe it does like 2 times as much or something. It's absurd. I like going Zeus because of the fact that he already abuses it with his passive, which I don't know what Bacchus is saying here. I don't know why, but people in ranked, they're crazy. Um, but Gilded Arrow going to proc twice on mage ADCs. Then on top of that, you're going to have the fact of Zeus passive, which Zeus passive stacks. I believe it's 33 power every time, or 33% more damage every time that you hit a uh, a basic attack or stack a chain lightning on them. And so with each of these stacks, I'm going to be hitting for like 100 on early wave. I started doing this with Soul. That was my first god that I started doing this with because, I did this to counter Soul playing Zeus because I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to lose early guaranteed. I just am. Unless I outpressure her somehow. And I thought about how to outpressure, and I figured Zeus out clears, and then I can get a lot of early poke on her, and she doesn't have a great way of healing up early game because it's going to be health pots. Like, her heat's not going to do much. But then I go into that wing. The wing is going to be the winged feather or whatever it is. That's going to be movement speed, attack speed. Movement speed, great for me to bail out. Attack speed, great for me because I stack my passive quicker. 3 health pots, 2 mana pots, pretty standard. I need a lot of mana for Zeus, but I'm also trying to scrap. I'm leveling up my shield, and the only part I really don't like is how this clear goes. Because I don't end up getting to hit my shield very much, unless I just face tank half of it. But I do clear excessively quick. Bad luck on the gilded procs. They were both on the end of my minions there. From there, we're going to keep it going, and we just go into lane. Nice and simple. I should have just spammed VGS, so that was gone. So my wing is down, but altogether, I didn't even waste any pots, and I'm already in a pretty okay spot health-wise. We're out clearing. They're literally, don't talk about that basic. Don't talk about it. It never happened. But we're out clearing, and they just got there. Heim, I don't think, does great because he can't really clear as well in that situation. So I'm just abusing the fact that my passive is going to stack, and these bastions are, look at that. I already have half health on the bastions. Bastions being XP, I think a small amount of XP, and then gold, more importantly, at this point in the game. So that's kind of one of the things where you look at it and you're like, okay, that's got to be at least valuable in some way. We're trying to fight into Jorm. I didn't get my gilded. That's unfortunate. He starts to juke. I realized a little too late that I wanted to fight into Heim, but I have this goated Bacchus here. We don't talk about those basics. Those basics never happened. I didn't see them leave my hand. Um, I was lagging. I don't know. MW2 excuse. Um, but we're doing well here. Then I'm just going to go back to harassing this Bastion. Like, this Bastion is mine. It's going to be mine. And that's about it. Like, there's no way that you can... I use that one to chain lightning off onto Jorm and just keep him out of the game, really. From there, we're going to back up, take next wave. Nice and simple there. Nothing really more to be said about it, but we're looking to outclear. I want to get these freaking gilded stacks, which I'm just bad with gilded. Let's be honest. Um, but we do get them eventually, and with that, we now get to clear our shield buff. I don't know what it's called. Gorp, if you remember the old slang, because there used to be one on Fire Giant side too, so it was Gorp and Forp. He's checking, getting us that buff timer. We're going to go into clear. And we're just out pressuring the hell out of them. That's our plan, at least. He's going to be on me. I'm going to 1v1 him. I notice I'm hitting basics from him. If I were doing better in this scenario, what I would do is I'd press G and get my other one, my wing. But I saved it there. Not that I necessarily needed it, but it would have definitely helped that fight. And then I use it poorly to chase down. And I should have waited until he was at Bastion for that. That would have been better for my bounce there. But now we're just harassing. Like, that's all it is. I'm going to make sure that I can get this Bastion, and we're good. We try to get that gilded. We get one of the gildeds. We're good. From there, pretty rinse and repeat. We're clearing wave again. I'm backing. I'm actually trying out Telekines for the first time in this build. I'm able to do so much damage to him. I believe Jorm, I look at it later, and he ended up starting going into Divine, which is not ideal, to say the least. My Jukes leaving a lot to be desired, but Bacchus is luckily the GOAT. Absolutely the GOAT. He's helping me out so much here, peeling for me. Notice I'm not turning around. That's a big thing to avoid when you're early on in learning Smite, is you don't want to turn around. Backpedaling makes you slower than just walking away. So you want to make sure that you have that. I'm just going to greed this wave a little bit because I know that they're pushed up. Everybody that scares me is in front of me already. We're just going to back up. We backpedal here so that we can kind of see what's happening, but not really much to it. From there, Bacchus is just being a straight up bully. I'm saving up for my ult because I want my ult to just clear wave for me. I get this, and now from there, we're going to greed that chain lightning. Good beads there getting out of Heimalt, and I pop my 3 because I got nothing else to do. And he's dead. I don't know what I was hanging around for. I thought that Hunbats was going to take that purple camp, but he wasn't, so we keep it moving, and we go Telekines. This game, I did have a strong lack of HP pots or warding, and I didn't end up getting punished for it, but that's not very good. I should have probably gone like HP Chalice or something there and 2 wards, which is 400 gold, but at the same time, I think it probably helps me a lot later. The good news about this game is it was kind of a steamroll, so I didn't have to do that. I get my purple there. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We get to wave. Do I miss anybody? No, I'm not missing anybody. I am going to miss a little bit of gold, but you know what? We can live with that. There's no real reason to worry too much about that because of how far ahead I am otherwise. Then from there, we are just clearing wave, seeing how everybody's doing, watching, like, see how I'm leaning to the left side? That's because I hear the Yorm coming, and on top of that, I just don't want to be ganked easily. So I get out of it. I wasted my ult, but it did keep me alive. I'm playing this super greedy, and I really probably shouldn't, especially in a situation where their jungler's a bit more active. Luckily, again, not that situation, but focusing in on that is going to be big for me. I just kind of wait it out right now. One thing that I kind of had to think about here, like, I don't think my gameplay changed too much because of it, but the Heim, depending on where uh, that second rock is, he basically has a little tripwire where he can see anybody on a ward. I'm getting these roaming harpies because they're around, and I don't want to push up the wave that much. Like, I don't want to sit in the middle of the wave. I don't want to push it out farther. I know that he's going to show up. I know he's going to push it out, and from there, I can just kind of push it in my tower here. I can clear it, and I'm just in front of my tower, so I still get all of the gold, because that's an important thing to notice, is when you are letting them into your tower, you lose gold for each one that's hit. You only get partial instead of full. But I let that happen, and that way I get the full... By stopping them in front of the line, I get the full gold from each of them. Then I'm coming over, I get my shield buff again. I really didn't know how much Telekines did, if I'm being honest with you, because I always thought that it was better to just go straight into Magus on Zeus, but it actually seems like it's not. Otherwise, we clear wave. Pretty simple there. I need to stop noting it because it's just going to happen. Jorm's running around, but he's got damage items, so he's kind of on a power spike. And we have our buffs. We pull that to our buff, which is kind of big because you need to be maximizing your farm. That's one of the most important things about this map. Is that you could just pull everything together. And if you pull everything together, you're going to get a lot of XP. Now, I leveled up my 1 here, which probably for this scrap, but altogether, I don't particularly prefer it. And I, again, am only using the G to, the wing ruin to the wing relic. I am only using that to chase him down, which is stupid because I am Zeus and my job is not really to chase people down. It's to execute them with my 3 when they are chasing, when I am chasing them. Like when I should be chasing is when I should just press 3 and they should be dead because that's how you do the job. I know that Bakasura is in left's jungle as of right now. You can see it on the mini map. I'm pretty mindful of it. I'm backing off because I'm hearing that from my team. And also, I did get to see it on the minimap. I was pretty aware of it at that point in time. So, they don't want to waste their time. We just get the shield, and we're not mad about it. Now, I believe, Bakasura came through and left immediately. Nothing he could really do that's going to stop us there. Gotta turn off that alarm, and we're clearing. That's the life of an ADC for you. I don't know what to tell you. We're greed. Is it greed? Yeah, it's greed. We don't need this at the moment. We want to just get another item, but I'm in a safe spot relatively. Like I have a lot of HP on me and a good amount of mana, so I can make it work. I go Cyclopean Ring again. Here's where I should probably just get the Chalice, but I instead go into my Magus, and Magus is going to help me power spike pretty heavily because I just found out in this game that it has percent pen as well. The big thing about it, they gave it the Crusher treatment, I guess. It transferred from 10 flat pen to 10 percentage pen, which is massive. The other thing about it is that passive. That passive is going to be when you hit somebody with your ability, which you are with Zeus because you want to stack up your passive before you even start basic attacking. With that passive, I am going to be able to increase the damage that I do to whoever gets hit by my abilities, and I am going to hit them with my abilities. So that's free added damage on my basic attacks on pretty much everything. We shred down Gold Fury. Absolutely nothing to it there. I'm throwing my shield in those fights so that I get the attack speed bonus, and you'll see me do this a lot later on as well. But I'm really focused on getting that attack speed bonus whenever I can. Like, I'm just taking that shit all day, every day. Go back, clear wave. I didn't end up missing anybody. Again, really lucky there that he is just trying to clear the whole time, which could just be a lower elo thing. This whole reset's kind of a mess, but we take it. We're just trying to farm up as much as we can. And then we can get Aegis here. We probably should get Aegis here, but we're just going for the tower. I'll throw my shield again. I throw it at his teleporter, and that's not because I see him teleporting, but it's in case he does teleport, I can then bounce off of it and guarantee that he is going to get hit before the minions come, and the minions aren't going to take it away as likely. I get some gilded procs here, which is so nice. You know, we love extra gold. From there, back to farming. My big thing is just optimizing the map here. Like, I'm a slow god. I am aware of that, so I'm not going to be up at their T2, pretty much, unless I have a chaperone, like I need an adult. So I want to stay on the bottom half of the map, close to my team, and I am taking these oracles because they are on that bottom half of the map. Like, I can lurk around through there. I do, however, want to get a little greedy. I wanted to check on green, but I didn't have to because we saw kill potential here. I am hitting him like a truck because he has Divine. I believe I checked it right here. Yeah, he has Divine. He's going into Magi's Blessing or Prophetic, I think, are on the same side of it. Haven't played enough tanks to know, but Magi's Tier 2 is not a lot of protections. Then we're back in lane, and this Heim wants nothing to do with me. I don't understand why he would even come that far up. Like, I'm going to proc my wing here. I could have hit more basics there, but ultimately, he even has Aussie, and look at the amount of damage I'm able to do to him. Like, there's just absolutely nothing that's going to match up with that Zeus fucking basic attack right now. Um, so we get full Magus. I trust my boys there to clear the last one. Spear of the Magus online, and we're getting Aegis. Aegis and beads, pretty essential for backliners. I know they were trying to work away from that a little bit, but it is what it is. It's safe. It's healthy. We'll see in the new meta. Maybe people are pulling out some Swifty stuff, but as far as right now, I haven't seen it. Um, Maybe we'll watch more tournaments today, and we'll see what happens. Um, Though I will say the people in the minor league are certainly cooking. They're better than I am, so I'm not going to knock it too much, but I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff where there just doesn't need to be. Like, you could do a normal ADC and it works out just fine. I don't know why they're doing that. But here we get Fire Giant. We pull it because of the fact that we have Merlin, we have Zeus, so he's going to shred it. He's going to shred the protections um, with his dragons. I'm stacking up my basics, and there's just nothing they can really do to outsecure that. If Bakasura jumps in, he dies. That's also another important thing about why I picked Zeus, is because the intimidation factor into a Bakasura or something like that. Like, I don't find Bakasura to be all that good, but one thing is that he can run games. He can snowball. But what's going to happen is if he jumps on me, he's dead. Like, he's going to throw minions on me. I throw my shield down. They're all dead. He's going to jump in on me. I bounce off of my shield. They're all dead. Here, I'm super cocky. Here, I am just absolutely being an idiot, and I stand there. I'm not trying to do much. I wanted to get my one off. If I got my one off, I got a kill, but that was a 1v3. I knew it. They knew it. Um, yeah, just absolute greed. So after that, we go in and we're looking to get our hastened. We're just looking to proc hastened, get a little bit better off there, a little bit more movement speed. That's one of the things I really appreciate about hastened, especially on Zeus, is I get more movement speed. My shield gives me movement speed, and I lost movement speed when I switched over from Wing Relic to the Aegis. So I want that back, and Hasten's going to be a great way to do that, as well as capitalizing on my ability to duel, which is pretty unparalleled, quite honestly. Um, yeah, now we're going up. We see that they're fighting, but we're not going to get there in time realistically, so we're clearing camps. It is what it is. We're getting there soon. And we caught a little guy floating around, so we got lucky there. Now we look back at gold. This is going to be good because of the fact that, once again, we have that objective shred from Merlin. It got nerfed a while ago because it was OP, but it's still pretty fucking good, if I could be honest with you. My basics are hitting right now. I don't think they do as much base damage as I want them to, but I get Cyclope Ring and I have Telekine's Ring, so it doesn't really matter. What's interesting about both mage rolls right now is that it's going to be a lot of proc builds. Procking Telekine's, procking Cyclope, and on the mid they're procking Destiny and they're procking Soul Reaver. Now, when I came behind there, I throw my ult out, just cover the ground. Here, this is another situation in which Bakasura just can't do anything. I am throwing my shield out next to the tower because I can bounce off of it, but I get the attack speed bonus. Then I throw my one out. My one is going to be just chaining off his minions. It ends up getting to him, and I get to detonate before he leaps away. Now, Heim should not be here. I use my 3 to get the Magus for other people because my kit's pretty down right here. Um, Now, Jorm, I don't see what Jorm is really benefiting from here. Yeah, he leaps away because he knows that he can't stand in front of me. I throw that to intimidate Anubis and keep it moving. I get my movement speed buff from it too. I'm still backing up. I realize our Merlin doesn't even have anti-heal. I don't know what is happening there and how they are. Guan is perfectly on the nose here with the they're so bad. They're not they don't have great picks, and altogether they're not able to capitalize much on it. There's not like I like picking Anubis. I mean, I like picking Ra in situations that Anubis would be good. Otherwise, like I just want to blast down objectives. Great. So you need to be going over to Gold Fury on cooldown or going over to Pyro with how squishy it is on cooldown and ulting it. But they're not. And Ra is, in my opinion, better at that because he just gets like, he's not going to burst it down as well, but he is going to get the secure pretty much always. Um, so now we're getting into a team fight. We're starting to lean towards FG here. I'm hoping to get there. You see me scroll over. I'm ready to ping it. And there we are. Bacchus starts it because Bacchus is hard carrying us here. That guy has saved my life a lot early game, and he's just been a very valid member, which is great because I really hadn't before this season seen Bacchus be used well, but now he's gotten very popular. We use the detonate to secure because that's what it's there for. I am Zeus, and now I can chase him down with my hastened. He ends up getting it. Nice, nice. We keep it moving. I level up my one again. Nothing crazy there. And then I throw this all over the wall. I end up getting the red buff, which is hilarious. I'm putting a lot of pressure out. He knows he's not making it back. He stops. Makes sense. 32-9 is what it is. Now, I said we should just go Titan, but we didn't end up wanting to go Titan. So we end up going to Phoenix. I'm able to blast Bakasura down, and I do a little damage to Titan, not realizing that we're not coming. I'm gonna take a lot of damage from this, so I end up Aegising, and still at half health, not bad. Fire Giant will sustain me, so I'm not too worried about it. Then we go over to gold because gold's coming up. We're going to take a few camps in the meantime, but gold is the right play here because we decided that we were going to play pretty safe here. I don't think that that's the wrong play. I was probably a little greedy by pointing at Titan there, but we end up going gold. Gold goes well because what hasn't this game really? We have so much pressure now, it's basically unwinnable. Like, we're 15k up. So for them, it's completely foregone conclusion. We're hitting level 20. That's what I wanted to do here. As I turned around, I was like, I'm going to group up my camps. Grouping up your camps is so important. I cannot say it enough. Just group your camps. Like, if you see two camps on the map, go to the far one, pull it to your close one, and get that XP, because that is going to be make or break. That's a lot of gold, a lot of XP, and you get a lot from it. Don't be afraid to split, by the way. Splitting does, if you don't know, splitting is going to give you 60% between two people. It's going to give you 60% of the XP, not 50. It actually scales it up to 120% XP. When you have more than one person, instead of 100% of the XP, you get 120% of the XP. 120% of the XP is going to be split between however many people there. That said, I end up selling Gilded because Gilded, nothing late game is going to be benefiting from Gilded really. I want to use my abilities a little bit more, and I'm using my basic attacks pretty frequently, but it's not as helpful, especially with my passive. I want to be stacking up a lot of power, and now between Rod of Tahuti, which I was able to get from selling it, Rod of Tahuti is going to give me 10% pen, a lot of power, and a really great passive for my 3, because my 3, if they're under 25%, it's going to do, I think it's 50% more or something like that. Um, and so now between that and Magus, I have... Alright, and we move on. There's Bakasura. Bakasura comes in. Bakasura dies. That's what I was saying about being Zeus, is that there's just no opportunity for him to do really anything to me. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to heal. So what I was saying is Magus giving me 10% and Rod giving me 10%. I'm at 20% CDR. 20% pen, which is not a bad place to be at all. I'm just putting my alt down to zone. It ends up doing a lot. I tried to get greedy there. It doesn't end up working out for me. So I just go, okay, I'm going to get the picks that I can and move on. I'm stacking it up on him. You would think for a god with bigger basic attacks, I would be hitting more of them. Anubis comes in, Anubis dies. Anubis really did kind of troll that game. Him and Jorm probably should have just been reported, quite frankly, but that's the end of the game. We throw up the global emote, and victory.